space. We just speak about, Jubilant Foodworks. They did about 12% like-for-like growth. Will the burger space be as exciting going forward or not? There is gradual improvement. We've seen, on a base of negative 5%, same-store sales growth of plus 0.07% for Westlife. And the previous quarter was a 2.8%. Again, the base was a lot more favorable as well. Akshay Jatia, who's the president and CEO at Westlife Foodworld, now joins in. Akshay, thank you so much for joining in. The last couple of quarters, you've seen a smidge of an improvement, and you have your target of high single-digit same-store sales growth. What are you doing to, propel that sort of growth? What is it that you're doing to revive demand at a time when consumption is slightly weak? Is it because of weak overall consumption scenario, or people generally moving away in the metros from, say, quick service restaurants, staying away from unhealthy food, etc.? Is there an underlying macro trend? Just wanted to understand what is it that is happening in the marketplace, and what are you doing to revive demand to that targeted high single-digit same-store sales growth?
Thank you for having me. So I don't think that, growth is not coming back, in the sense that from a macro point of view, we are seeing a marginal increase, in terms of habits, in terms of people eating out. And here at Westlife, our biggest focus is to ensure that, the customer gets that what he or she wants. So I think number one, we're focusing on ensuring that we give a great value for money offering to our customers, whether it's across different ranges of products, or even, across beverages like McCafe. So, we've been very successful in doing that over the last few quarters, and we are seeing momentum come back into the business. Number two, we're also ensuring that the experience that customers get in the restaurants is superior. And we do think that brands like us, Westlife, will continue to perform well as we keep offering these experiences to our customers at the quality that we offer them at. So we're very confident that as macro growth is also reviving, we are doing what it takes to ensure that Westlife Foodworld gets back into the positive trajectory and moves towards the Vision 2027 that we've set.
Okay. Can you give us a sense in terms of what the geographical breakup was like for you this quarter? How much did you do in terms of your key geographies when it came to revenues?
So we don't break it up by geography in terms of exact numbers. However, what I can say is the West is a region where we've established very strong brand connect. And as a result, we have seen strong momentum in the West, especially cities like Mumbai, Pune, and states like Gujarat, where a lot of our offerings have now started bringing strong momentum into the restaurants. In terms of the South, which is our second key region, we've done a lot of work in terms of building that relevance with the customers. And while it does lag a little bit, we are seeing momentum there as well, especially in cities like Hyderabad. And we're very confident that with the right offerings, with the right brand connect, we will see that momentum come back in the South as well. And as a result, we're confident about delivering that SSSG momentum that we've committed in Vision 2027.
All right. So I guess the reason why I wanted to know is because you had this target of moving west and south to about 50% of your revenue as well, currently more skewed towards the west, as you earlier pointed out. So as that happens, and whenever that happens, for this year in particular, FY26, what are you looking at when it comes to revenue growth, same-store sales growth, and margins? If you could give us a sense.
So again, we don't give year-on-year forward guidance. Vision 2027 remains our, marker in terms of overall guidance. But what I can say for the current year in terms of indication is that we definitely want to get back to that trajectory of mid to high single-digit SSSG. And all effort is there in terms of bringing that momentum back into our restaurants. And even in terms of margin, as we see operating leverage play out, we're doing a lot of solid work in terms of, cost savings as well as pro mix in terms of, reviving those as well. So we are quite confident that FY26 will be, the start of that trajectory that we require for Vision 2027.
Okay. Give us a sense in terms of, what the addition would be in terms of stores going forward. What is the capex that you have lined up? And, since we did speak about maybe demand still, on the cusp of reviving, is there any change to your capex plans?
In terms of number of stores, the guidance again remains that by 2027, we plan to be at 580 to 630 restaurants. Obviously, that implies that our range will be between 40 to 55 restaurants over the next couple of years. And in that context, our capex remains more or less similar because we are doing a lot of work in terms of also optimizing our capex as we are opening more stores. So capex will be in the range of 200 to 250 crores year on year. But again, funded through internal accruals and ensuring that return on capital remains our primary marker of guidance.
What about McCafe? You aspire to have about 15 to 18% of your revenues by 2027 coming in from McCafe. Where does that number stand? And does your entire network now have a McCafe?
We're moving closer towards it. In fact, obviously, our internal aspiration is to beat that because you are seeing the coffee market explode, and us being leaders in terms of both, quality cup of coffee as well as in terms of presence. We, have exactly what it takes to take advantage of that macro growth. And adding, to answer your question, we've covered almost 100% of our network with McCafes.
And what about paneer? There is a fair amount of outrage on social media around paneer. And India has a fairly large vegetarian population. I'm vegetarian myself. And I constantly wonder whether the paneer served at all these quick service restaurants, is it fake or is it real? There's so much clamor around this. Earlier it was cheese, now it is paneer. How do we stay confident that everything that is served in all these quick service restaurants are healthy? At least, if not healthy, the real thing.
So I can assure you myself that, the paneer is made of 100% milk. In fact, our quality standards at McDonald's, I say this as a very health conscious customer as well, are at the highest level. And if I was to eat out, it would primarily be at a McDonald's because I know what goes into our food is the real ingredients, and even our process of making the same is at the highest levels of quality, versus many other, areas of eating out that you may venture at.
Okay, all right. We're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in, Akshay. And let's, touch base for a longer conversation because there seems to be some structural shift taking place in the Indian market. One, considering that there's a huge influx of weight loss drugs which will come through. So whether or not the same model is going to survive or not when it comes to fast food is something that we can discuss at a later time. We'll take a short break, but up next we'll focus on the IT sector with Sandeep Agarwal, Fund Manager at Sowillow Investment Managers. Stay tuned.